When opportunity meets preparation, breakout seasons occur. For Terrence Shannon Jr., that just might be the story of his year. The Minnesota Timberwolves are coming to the season with a relatively similar roster, with one of the biggest moves of the offseason being the loss of Nickeil Alexander-Walker. With the Timberwolves having to look inward to improve, most of the attention has been put on the former 8th overall pick, the 20-year-old Rob Dillingham. And with no discredit to the point guard, I want to shine a player on another Timberwolves player going into his second season. Somebody who can not only make up for the loss of Nickeil Alexander-Walker, but somebody who might just be prone into his own breakout season. TSJ had a relatively quiet rookie season, playing just 32 games. However, the 5-year college player did show to be effective in his time and even flashes of more potential. Per 36 minutes, he averaged around 15 points, 5 rebounds, 3.5 assists with just 1.5 turnovers per game. For the last season, he was around league average in his true shooting percentage, and he shot a respectable 35% from 3. Now these stats only mean so much as it was on a really small sample size and we are looking at his per 36 minutes, but I do think that this is a continuation of his college career. In his senior year at Illinois, TSJ was one of the best scorers in the country. He averaged 23 points per game while shooting 37% from 3, and he was 3rd team All-American. Despite becoming a later draft pick, TSJ came into the league as a solid prospect. In college, he proved that he could score, shoot the ball, and he was known as one of the best finishers in the nation. He had a great frame, measuring around 6'6", 215 pounds with a 38-inch vertical. He averaged about a steal per game in college, and in the NBA, he was a solid rookie defender. In fact, he actually made an already elite defense even better by about 2.5 points per 100 possessions just by stepping onto the court. Of course, this is on a small sample size, but this is promising. TSJ would not see a lot of time in the playoffs until the Western Conference Finals, and in his 4 games against the eventual champion Oklahoma City Thunder, he played some of the best basketball of his career. Shannon Jr. would average around 9 points and a rebound while shooting 52% from the field, 37% from 3, and being perfect from the free throw line. Of course, this didn't save the Minnesota Timberwolves. However, for a rookie who played in less than half of all regular season games, playing up against the greatest defense of all time, this is a pretty decent performance and one that I think is indicative of more to come. Terrence Shannon Jr. made the Timberwolves' already great defense better by over 2 points per 100. That's pretty remarkable. His defensive box plus minus would have qualified for 8th amongst all rookies, and his individual defensive rating wasn't too bad either. It's really rare already for rookies to be positive defenders in the NBA, let alone for ones who come into the league more known for their scoring abilities than anything else. Wing defense is one of the most valuable skills in the NBA, and with the loss of Na, this makes Shannon's promise on that end of the court all the more important. But this isn't the only way that he can improve, and this isn't the only way that he can help out the Minnesota Timberwolves. Like I said, TSJ was known for his scoring ability, and that's something he can do both in transition and in the half court. Last season, in transition opportunities, Shannon Jr. averaged about 1.14 points per possession. That put him in the 53rd percentile. While this isn't anything too crazy, it is important to note that the Minnesota Timberwolves were the 2nd worst team in transition last season, just barely outscoring the Charlotte Hornets per game. They also ranked 24th in pace last season, which isn't exactly that great either, but despite that, they still had a top 10 offense. For a team with an elite offense that doesn't play with a lot of pace, having a prolific wing transition player can be pivotal in opening up new avenues. TSJ was just as good in the half court on shooting opportunities, where he ranked in the 70th percentile on all spot-up attempts. This is something I expect will continue for him in the league as he gets more touches and time in the NBA. After all, it is relatively rare for rookies to shoot above league average because of the transition from college to the NBA. But it was in a recent interview that might just give me the most confidence about TSJ. He said after his first season, he felt more confident and more comfortable within the NBA and adjusting to its game speed. He also said that he spent all summer playing one-on-one with Anthony Edwards, someone who's, one of the best two-way guards in the NBA. Not only is that a pivotal time for him to improve in isolation as a shot creator, it gives him time to match up against one of the league's most versatile scorers. And in this interview, he said his offensive mindset was simple: if I'm open, I'm going to shoot the ball in the corner. He spent the summer focusing on his game, competing with one of the best in the league, and is already ready to fit in whatever role the Timberwolves need him at. Oh yeah, he also shot 40% from 3 in the corner already last season, so look for that to either continue or improve next year. And maybe you're still not convinced. Maybe that was just a small sample size, or maybe it was just a little bit of a fluke. But let's take a look at some of his performances beyond his rookie season in the playoffs and beyond what he claims to have done with Anthony Edwards. In the Summer League, Shannon Jr. was flat out amazing. 23 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists per game on 47, 38, 95 shooting splits. Superstar numbers that put him on the Summer League first team. His numbers have dropped so far in 4 games in the preseason, but that is to be expected as the competition surrounding him increases. But still, 11 points, 4 rebounds, 3.5 assists per game on 50, 64, 75 shooting splits. It's the Summer League that proves that he belongs in the NBA and why he deserves more of a role. And it's the preseason that shows us just exactly what that role can be. That versatile 3-and-D wing who might just be capable of a little bit more on offense. I'm expecting a major bump in his minutes with the way the Wolves roster is showing out. Nickeil Alexander-Walker played 25 minutes per game. That's going to need to be replaced. Mike Conley more or less has aged out of the league, and Joe Ingles suffered a groin strain and could potentially miss the start of the season. Now more than ever, there are minutes that the Wolves need to fill, and those are minutes that TSJ can take. Now I'm not expecting a guy like Shannon Jr. to become a star, at least not yet. However, for a team that needs internal improvement, in a league that requires depth, defense, and versatility, Terrence Shannon Jr. is the perfect option not only to break out for the Timberwolves, but to break out into a key role in the NBA. That is it for this one. If you like the video, you know what to do, but let me know what your thoughts are about TSJ. Maybe I'm overhyping him, or maybe he might just be one of the breakout contenders for next season. Let me know down below, but I will catch you all next time.